Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Engine number 9 is a train racing game of sorts. It reminds me of Thomas the Train Engine a little bit, how you're moving these trains across these tracks, and it is something that kids will instantly be kind of attracted to as the components look like toys, and they look really fantastic. The board will be shifting around based on the dice rolls as you're moving through. Now, that is a really neat conceit, and I think it works pretty well in this game. Couple things it does wrong, it makes it really hard to plan. The things are going to be shifting around, and you kind of hope and you get a little bit of luck of where things are going to be at. In addition, it can lead the game to last a little bit longer than it intended, as you're constantly be shifted back to the front, and that can be frustrating for people or as they crash in and have to restart. So you're constantly kind of restarting, where I wish the game had more of a flow towards that end. But to take that nature of the game, that's just going to be how it is. Now, I do find the game fun. I do like it. It's one of my favorite children racing games. And the train aspect is going to bring a lot of people in. So it's not as frustrating as something like Candyland or something like that. But it does have a little bit of that nature into it that you're constantly potentially being sent back to the back. And if you're a little bit lucky, you'll be constantly sent to the front of the race. So there's a little bit of a catch-up mechanism, but that catch-up mechanism is random, and that's kind of an odd design. Now, this works in a children's game. It wouldn't work in an adult game, but I think it's fine for here with the components looking great, like big toys. I think that it works. This is what I would recommend you trying out. If you have a child that likes trains, instant buy here, I think. Engine number 9 was a winner overall, although it has a flaw or two in it. It was a keeper for us. Here is Engine number 9, the board game by Omega. It tells you it has some toy trains in here, and boy, they are not kidding. We're going to get a rule book, which we'll look at in a few minutes, and this will be your board. You can see here that it's pretty cool, but it has some openings in the center. That's going to be for gameplay purposes, and you're going to get some tracks, because this is really a racing game, hiding as a train game. These will be the paths that go in it. Each one you can put in here based on the color there, and you kind of have that set up. You're going to have some tokens that are really nice, these little tiles. This is used for an expansion that comes with it. And then you're going to get your toys. These are going to be the trains and the dice that come with it. You're going to get 2 6-sided die and one like custom, almost like a Haba dice, but a little bit smaller. They feel like they're wooden. And these will be the trains. You're going to get 4 in each color. Huge toy factor. They do not have wheels on them that move, but they are really cool little plastic pieces. Excellent job here. I also want to note that there was some care taken to the insert here to kind of give it a toy factor look too. Components are really, really good. Your kids are going to love playing with this. Here is the rule book. You get a picture of all the components kind of thrown out here. You're going to have setup over here. There's a little bit of a picture, I guess, but no picture of setup. You're going to have gameplay coming through. What happens if you crash? What happens with trains bump, rolling doubles, end of the line, winning the game, and then a little bonus here if you want to play with these tokens. Rulebook is really good. You're probably going to need 5 to 7 minutes to get through this. It's a children's game, so you're probably not going to have any issues. So setup game is very easy. Each player is going to take 3 of their trains. You can put them in the depot. We found it easier just to keep them in front of you until you're ready. On a turn, you're going to roll the dice. And it's going to tell you, first thing you do is look at the color, and you're going to move that track. And that track will come down here and kind of connect. It doesn't really fit perfectly, but you can kind of see where they will go. And then you can move one of your trains 7 spaces. So the start space counts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's kind of how that will go. And then the next person will go. This time they're going to move red. It will move like this, come through. And then let's say it was yellow, they can move 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and maybe they'll stop right here on this spot, and the next person will go, and so on. So in this case, blue moved, so blue will move here into the open spot. That really helped yellow out, didn't it? And then let's say white was next one to go, they can move 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you have nowhere to go, you come off and you go back to the start. If you ever run into a dead end, you have to go back to the start. And if you ever get set up, like say this guy was set up here and this doesn't lead anywhere and he has to move, then you have to go back to the start. Now, let's say you're in a situation like this where you're coming through and you bump into somebody. Let's say I rolled, let's roll the dice, and I rolled a 6. I go 1, 2, I would stop, 3, 4, 5, 6, bump him off, he would go back. So when you bump, the remainder is given to the next person.
There is a rule that if you roll doubles, you get to go again. That can be an exciting thing to do. Otherwise, it's a race to get all the way around. The first one to get all 3 of their people here at the end is the winner of the game. Now, the only thing that was a little unclear was, do you have to have an exact roll to get to the finish? We played it didn't because the game would have dragged on forever. But there is a rule that if somebody bumps you into the finish, you have to go back to the beginning. That's actually in the rules. Now, there is a way to add this, which I do recommend a lot. So anytime you have to get bumped to go back to the start, you get one of these repair tokens. And what they're going to do is, instead of rolling the color dice to move whatever color it is, you can spend one of these and move any color you want. A very, very good roll. I would play with these forever. Unless you're playing with a really, really youngster who can't comprehend this, that's a much better way, because sometimes you can get really screwed over by the roll of the dice.
Who should buy this game? This is going to be for people who want a children's racing game. Maybe not the best on the market, but one of the top probably 5 that I've played. Or if you have a child that really likes trains, this has a really cool toy factor to it. It's instantly going to draw them in. And that shifting board is really neat. I don't want to undersell that, because that's a really cool mechanism you have in this game. If you meet those requirements, then this is absolutely a keeper for you.